The timing of the 5 daily compulsory prayers, Salah, in Islam is a deeply significant aspect of the faith, combining divine command, cosmic rhythm, and the structure of human life. The reasoning behind these specific times is derived from the Quran, the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, Hadith, and the wisdom inferred by scholars over centuries. Here is a breakdown of the reasoning behind the timing of each prayer. 1. The divine command and the cosmic journey. The primary reason is that these timings were ordained by God and taught to the Prophet Muhammad during the miraculous night journey, Isra and Miraj. However, within this divine prescription, there is profound wisdom that aligns with the natural world and the human condition. The Quran itself alludes to the timings in Surah Al-Isra, 17:78, establish prayer at the decline of the sun until the darkness of the night, and also the Quran of dawn. Indeed, the recitation of dawn is ever witnessed. And in Surah Hud, 11:114, and establish prayer at the 2 ends of the day and at the approach of the night. The 5 prayers and their reasoning. 1. Fajr, dawn prayer. Time, from the first light of dawn, true dawn, until just before sunrise. Reasoning, a spiritual dawn. The day begins not with worldly pursuits, but with the remembrance of God. It is a time of quiet peace, when the mind is fresh and the world is still. A test of faith. Waking up while others sleep requires discipline and a sincere commitment, strengthening a believer's faith. The Quran of dawn is witnessed. This Quranic verse suggests a special spiritual atmosphere at this hour, witnessed by angels. 2. Duha, noon prayer. Time, just after the sun passes its zenith, the highest point, until the shadow of an object becomes equal to its length. Reasoning, a midday reset. This prayer comes in the middle of the day, often during work or other activities. It acts as a spiritual break, pulling the believer away from the hustle and materialism of daily life to reconnect with their ultimate purpose. Prevention of negligence. It prevents one from becoming entirely absorbed in worldly affairs. 3. Asr, afternoon prayer. Time, from when the shadow of an object is equal to its length until just before sunset. Reasoning, the second reset. As the day's energy begins to wane and fatigue can set in, Asr provides a second spiritual recharge. It is a reminder to persevere and maintain consciousness of God until the end of the day. A metaphor for life. Some scholars see it as a metaphor for the afternoon of life, middle age, a time to reflect on one's deeds before the sunset, old age and death, approaches. 4. Maghrib, sunset prayer. Time, immediately after the sun has completely set until the red twilight, afterglow, disappears. Reasoning, gratitude at day's end. It is offered at the moment a major bounty of God, daylight, disappears. It teaches gratitude for the day's blessings and the specific blessing of sustenance, as it is often the time for the evening meal, iftar during Ramadan. Transition. Marker. It marks the clear transition from the day's activities to the night's rest, framing this change with divine remembrance. 5. Isha, night prayer. Time. From the disappearance of the red twilight until the true dawn, the start of Fajr, but it is recommended to pray before midnight. Reasoning, a final reflection. It serves as the final spiritual act of the day, allowing a believer to reflect on their actions, seek forgiveness for any shortcomings, and sleep in a state of purity and connection with God. Ending with remembrance. By ending the day as it began, in prayer, it bookends the entire waking cycle with worship, protecting the heart from negligence even during sleep. Deeper wisdom and symbolism, a continuous cycle of remembrance. The prayers are spaced throughout the 24-hour cycle to ensure a Muslim's day is never far from the remembrance of God. This creates a constant state of God consciousness, taqwa, which is the ultimate goal of worship. Discipline and structure. The fixed timings instill profound discipline, nazm, in a believer's life. It requires organizing one's day around these spiritual appointments, promoting time management and self-control. Alignment with natural rhythms. The prayer times are intrinsically linked to the sun's position, connecting worship to the cosmic order. This reminds believers of the Creator's power and the natural world's submission to His laws. Psychological breaks. From a modern perspective, these 5 prayers act as mandatory mindfulness breaks. They force a pause from stress, work, or worldly anxieties, recentering the individual on a higher purpose and providing psychological relief. In essence, the timing of the 5 daily prayers is not arbitrary. It is a divine schedule designed to sanctify time itself, weaving the remembrance of God into the very fabric of daily human existence, from the first light of dawn to the depth of the night.